Okay, I've only got so many minutes. So there's something I have been wanting to talk about, and I don't know any other way to go about it other than speaking directly from my heart, maybe sharing a little bit about myself in the process. So, there is definitely, as we all know, massive change undergoing our society, our civilization, humanity. We are literally living in what so many have coined as the shift. More of a shift into an expanded awareness, consciousness, and a deeper understanding of who we are. But in order to embody that, we have to also understand the darkness within us and in the world as much as we do the light. For they are not separate. They are not, it's not one way or the other. It's learning how to not only find what works best for you, but also loving all aspects of yourself and who you are. And so many who are taking a more spiritually aligned path, of course, thankfully, more people as we get along on this journey are beginning to understand that it can't be all love and light all the time. That love even extends to the parts of ourself that we originally were being taught to spiritually bypass, and even in society, it's the same way. If you're not happy all the time, you need to be medicated. If you're not enjoying your life, something is wrong. And we have to start shifting that foundation and understanding that these not so polished or shiny parts of ourselves are often where our wisdom comes from, are often what shifts us to change, gives us the passion that we need to make change, and gives us an understanding of maybe the darker aspects in other human beings as well. How we can relate to those who are also going through this experience as well, or going through a similar experience. I know in this past year or so, since I've been back in Texas, I've had to face a lot of my own inner darkness through illness and all kinds of things in order to come to a more integrated part of who I am. It taught me to more authentically love myself and all those aspects that I so often was feeling I needed to put away in fear that I would offend somebody or appear to be some sort of dark being of some kind. I don't know. And in all reality, I was just being human in a very human situation. The very wounds that I had were the ones I had to face and love and learn to accept. And as a result, I was able to better integrate those aspects of myself and love them. And it made me feel more whole. I feel more whole than I have probably ever in this lifetime. And it's taken me a long time to get there. Almost 40 years. Because I was taught too, as many of us are, that these unwanted aspects of ourselves are unwanted, unpleasant, uncomfortable to be around. But they're still part of who we are. They still are very much a real part of our life. And to shun them and try to push them down only makes a deeper wound. Takes longer to heal or integrate, because we also don't want to be stuck in healing mode all the time, Sometimes we just have to be and allow it to unfold as it may. So, my point being, that not only as we learn to normalize the descent, as my friend Artika once said, to show that it's a balanced part of being human. To go into these darker places of self, to fully understand ourselves. But not only as we learn that within ourselves, in our personal lives as individuals, we also need to begin seeing that on an expanded view, to encompass all of humanity. And I do want to make clear that I do not condone any of the actions that have recently been taken. Or, of course, it does sadden me that there has to be loss of life at all. But we have to understand that the more we allow these things to divide us, the more we will see of this. And so I will relate what I have been feeling that I want to speak about as from a mother's perspective. Of course, I don't expect everyone to agree with me. I don't expect everyone to like what I have to say, but I am just going to speak what is true to me and my heart and myself. Without the worries of judgment or fear of being seen as a bad individual, like just being real and authentic. It is definitely Well, first I want to say, my friend Nathan recently made a post on his podcast of he never met a human being that he could not love. And that deeply resonated for me as well. Because growing up and just all of my life, I have always found love and compassion for everyone I have come across. Oftentimes, even to my own detriment, and to people's misunderstandings of being told, don't do that, don't trust that person, you need to look down on that person. I'm like, why? They're still a human being, just in a hard place. They still deserve to be seen and loved too. And this is where we see that love is not all fluff. It's not all unicorns and rainbows and joy. Love can be hard. It's very much like a mother's love, where we can be gentle and soft and tender when we need to be. But in those instances where our children are drastically different than us, or challenge us, or are going through their own dark periods, even if we do not understand, at least from my perspective, I continue to love them anyways. I do not turn away from them. I do not shun them. I do not make them feel badly for what they are experiencing. I love them anyways. And I'm there for them, even if I do have to be a bit stern to guide and love. Just because I get in an argument with my child does not make me hate them anymore. I don't hate them at all. It does not make me hate my child to argue with them. It does not make me look down upon them when they may have did something that was not so loving to themselves or to someone else. I just see this as an opportunity for me to not only grow and shift my own perspective, but how I can offer my own perspective as well to help guide them in understanding their choices, their actions, the consequences to the actions. And sometimes you got to be a little tough, you know? And as I've been sitting with this, knowing that I want to speak on this in my heart for the last several days, it's helped me to see that humanity as a whole needs a mother. Those who are most wounded, those who are hurting and killing others, those who are acting from a wounded place, are the ones that need this kind of love more than anyone. More than most, I should say. Because of course, we should love all. But those who act from a wounded place and are hurting others often or denied the kind of love that they truly needed. And of course, it is not easy to look at someone else through a lens of love when they have hurt another human being or acted in an unconscious way. But this is when we further expand our lens to see that not only do we not need to stop pointing fingers and blaming others or the they for everything that's going on in the world, that we need to stand up and realize that this is a we thing. This is a we situation. It's so much easier to put our problems onto someone else or to demonize someone else, especially when they do act out of character. Or should I say, out of a wounded place. But we do have to also remember that the majority of these people started off, not all, but most, with good intentions or different ideas of what good is. And especially in places of authority, with all the different labels and all the different job titles and all the different categories within these spaces. Most of these people started off with the intention of helping other people. I know there's variations. I know some did it for the money, some did it for the power. But the majority of these people originally started with the intention of helping others. And it is not these people that are flawed. They, unfortunately, are just products of a system that no longer works. And the more we continue to support the very system that continues to hurt us, the more it will continue to happen and grow. And one of those ways of supporting it is through division. If these people carry a certain title, a certain job, a certain branch, they are involved with a certain branch, it's much easier to be like, it's your fault. Not realizing that there are people more than likely within these systems who are mortified over the recent events or know that something is not right, or were programmed during their training, as we all are programmed in some way, especially in today's world. We're constantly being programmed. You know, these people get trained and get programmed to believe that they're upholding a system that's going to help. And this is where we have to look at ourselves and realize it's time to strip away the lens of us versus them and realize These people are often people too, just working for a corrupt system that does not serve humanity anymore. And if we are to change our systems, we have to accept this. We have to see through the lens of love, even if it's a stern, tough love. We have to look at it through our hearts, see the humanity beneath it all, and realize that underneath all the labels and divisions and everything going on in society, at the end of the day, everyone is looking to change the system, to change the world, to change even their own, to have change within their own lives. Because in that change, we are seeking more harmony and happiness within our own lives. This is not an us versus them. This is a we. And it is the very system that we continue to uphold that keeps us divided and pointing fingers instead of coming together. Because when we can properly, or just, mother ourselves in the ways that we needed to, then we can extend that out to the others as well. We do not turn away from our children when they are wounded, when they need us, when they are acting from a place that may hurt others. We guide them, and we love them anyways, even if it takes a little tough love. So going forward from that space, how can we begin to love all of humanity underneath all the bullshit? And begin to help each other to heal the wounds that are coming forward for us to all see. How can we be of better service to each other and ourselves? And change the system. Because the only way we are going to change anything in any of this is through love, love of the dark and the light, being the bridges. That we came here to be.